The Democratic chairman of the new State Elections Commission says Republican Attorney General Brad Schimel can't be trusted to conduct an objective investigation into the former Government Accountability Board. Mark Thompson says if state Republicans want a review of past actions of the GAB, they should order an independent review by an impartial fact finder. Thompson made the request in a letter to legislative leaders last week, and Mark Thompson joins us now on Up Front. Chairman Thompson, good to have you back on the program. Why do you feel Brad Schimel cannot be trusted to do a fair and thorough investigation of the GAB?
They did an audit of the GAB. The legislature did.
A few years ago.
Yeah, and everything was fine. And I've had the privilege to watch Mike Haas now act as interim administrator for a year and a half, got us through the recount without any controversy. You know, we proved that Mr. Trump won the election and we didn't count illegal votes. And my dad was a Lutheran preacher. And, you know, he says, you don't bear false witness. And when, as an employer myself too, when someone is competent and does their job, you reward them. You don't attack them. Mr. Schimel's report, Mr. Haas is a footnote in this. And for then Mr. Fitzgerald and Mr. Voss to use that report to call for the head of this public servant, here, it's Christmas. This is the Grinch who stole Christmas. He's married, he's got kids. This is just, in my view, morally repugnant. It's not what Wisconsin's about. And Mr. Schimel's report did not address all the facts. You know, I don't have access to the other side. We've asked Mr. Schimel for a lawyer for the commission. We've asked the governor for a lawyer for the commission. They've refused this. We don't have access to the other side. But from everything I've read in the media, Mr. Schimel's report was one-sided. Mr. Haas isn't mentioned. And to use this to call for Mr. Haas's head is just wrong.
Mike Haas sent a letter to Speaker Voss and the Senate Majority Leader, Scott Fitzgerald, and he said, I want an apology that you basically slandered and defamed me with these suggestions that we were involved in illegal activity. Mm-hmm. You have said much the same thing. Do you believe Mike Haas was slandered or defamed?
There's no question. There's no indication in anything I've read anywhere, including Mr. Schimel's report, that Mr. Haas was in any way involved with any kind of criminal activity. He's not even mentioned in terms of any contempt proceedings. There's no indication at all. And when you take a public servant who does a great job and who deserves a raise, and then you imply that he's involved with a crime, that is slander. I mean, that's the essence of false witness.
So you're saying he should not resign, Mike Haas, the administrator of the Elections Commission, the former GAB employee, he should not resign. And if they remove him, what can be done about that?
You know, the statute is very interesting. The Republicans created this entity, the Election Commission. It's a bipartisan. We're 3 Democrats, 3 Republicans. We've had 2 Republicans come and go already. But all 8 commissioners to date have uniformly, consistently, and unanimously supported Mike Haas as not only the interim administrator, but as the permanent administrator. He is dead on for the job. The statute says, with the advice and consent of the Senate. I read it this way. He has been doing his job for over a year and a half. They've had advised and they consented. He's there.
Does he have legal grounds to challenge a potential removal from office?
I don't think they have a chance. They don't have a legal basis to ask for his removal. The statute is very clearly says only a majority of the commission can remove him. We just voted a week ago 6-0 to keep him. They can't remove him.
Gordon Hintz, who is the Assembly Minority Leader, said he's worried that if there are major changes in the composition of the Elections Commission, that you could potentially compromise the integrity of the big election in November. Do you share that concern?
We're running short of staff already. You know, I mean, we asked for 6 staff. Joint Finance gave us 5. Governor Walker vetoed that. We're asking the legislature for 3. We're under attack. We know now that the Russian government was involved in trying to meddle with it. We have a major election in 2018. Mr. Haas is the person that needs to be driving that bus. And I will not accept his resignation. And I've told him, you know, we're going to go fight this out. They don't have a basis to take him out. And that's why I'm very happy that you invited me. I would like the public to send a message to say we should publicly confirm Mr. Haas. I mean, if anybody deserves the support of the people of this state, it is Mr. Haas.
Mark Thompson is the chairman of the State Elections Commission. That's the successor to the Government Accountability Board. Thanks very much for being with us today. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Coming up next on Up Front, neighboring cities working together for water and more.